Operation Sindoor changed something bigger than just a strategy. It changed psychology. For the enemy, it created uncertainty. For the Indian soldier, it created belief. For the Indian citizen, it created confidence. And for the world, it sent a strong message. India is no longer reacting emotionally. India is responding strategically. There are moments in history when a nation doesn't just respond, it roars. Not for revenge, not for headlines, but for every innocent heartbeat that was silenced. 1 year ago, India did not just launch an operation. India established a new normal. A new normal where terror would no longer hide behind borders. A new normal where attacks on innocent Indians would carry consequences. A new normal where silence was replaced by precision and restraint was replaced by resolve. India stopped speaking the language of warnings and started speaking the language of consequence. That night, the sky was not just lit by missiles, it was lit by message. A message that traveled across borders, through bunkers, through terror camps, through every enemy hiding behind cowardice. The message was simple. If you touch India, India will finish the story. 22nd April 2025, Pahalgam, a place known for its beauty, became a place of blood. 26 innocent civilians lost their lives in one of the deadliest terror attacks in recent years. Investigations linked the attack to Pakistan-backed terror networks, including the Resistance Front, TRF, an offshoot associated with Lashkar-e-Taiba. But this time, India didn't stop at condemnation. This time, India prepared an answer. And on the night of 7th May 2025, the world witnessed Operation Sindoor, a military operation that was not just an attack. It was a declaration that the era of silent suffering was over. For decades, India absorbed the pain of terrorism. Parliament attack, Mumbai 26/11, Uri, Pulwama, and then Pahalgam. Every attack carried the same pattern. Terrorists attacked, masses hid across the border, and the world asked India to show restraint. But restraint has a limit. After the Pahalgam massacre, Indian intelligence tracked communication links, planners, and terror infrastructure connected to Pakistan-backed groups. Then came the response. Precision strikes, cross-border targeting, strategic military coordination. According to official briefings and later military disclosures, India targeted terror infrastructures across multiple locations and struck Pakistani airfields and radar systems during the wider conflict escalations. This was no symbolic operation. This was India rewriting its doctrine. Not we condemn, but we respond. Now, 1 year after Operation Sindoor, the operation is still shaping India's military and diplomatic strategy. Prime Minister and senior ministers marked the anniversary publicly, calling it a symbol of India's resolve against terrorism. Indian military leadership stated that the operation transformed India's war doctrine toward faster, technology-driven responses. Officials highlighted the growing role of indigenous defense systems, drones, precision targeting, and coordinated tri-services operations. India also took diplomatic and economic measures after the operation, including the suspension of aspects of bilateral engagement and a strong counter-terror positioning internationally. Operation Sindoor changed something bigger than just a strategy. It changed psychology. For the enemy, it created uncertainty. For the Indian soldier, it created belief. For the Indian citizen, it created confidence. And for the world, it sent a strong message. India is no longer reacting emotionally. India is responding strategically. 1 year later, defense experts describe Operation Sindoor as a turning point in India's security posture, and military modernization. The operation accelerated conversation around indigenous defense manufacturing, drone warfare, rapid retaliation capability, intelligence-led precision strikes, and zero tolerance policy against terrorism. But beyond missiles and military maps, Operation Sindoor became emotional. Because for millions of Indians, it felt like the country finally looked terrorists in the eye and refused to blink. 1 year has passed, but some nights never end. The smoke disappears, the headlines fade, the world moves on, but a nation remembers. It remembers the innocent tourists who never came home. It remembers the soldiers who stood ready before sunrise. It remembers the sound of a country deciding enough. Operation Sindoor was not just a military mission. It was India drawing a red line in history. And maybe years from now, people would not just remember the missiles, they will remember the message. That when terror knocked on India's door and tested the spirit of this nation, India answered with fire that lit up the enemy's darkness, with steel that shook the foundations of terror, with a resolve so powerful that the world realized India's patience should never be mistaken for weakness, because this is New India. Jaihind.